The Knicks are planning a major move. The NBA regular season is only a few days away, and the Knicks must have at least 14 players on traditional contracts on their roster. Landry Shamet, before his injury, was absolutely going to make the team. But now, according to reports, the Knicks could be making a surprising move to finalize their roster. We're going to break down all of these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks could sign Marcus Morris to complete the roster. New York currently has 12 players on traditional NBA contracts. They need to bump that number up to 14 come opening night. If Landry Shamet didn't get injured, if he was healthy and available, his contract would be converted to a standard NBA deal and he would make the roster. But given his injury, we have no idea when he's going to return. But after this update that he posted to social media, it does not sound like that injury is good, and it does sound like he's going to miss significant time. Shout out to New York Basketball on the app X for giving us the following information. According to them, this is what Landry Shamet had to say on IG. Appreciate all of the prayers and well wishes. This is just the next obstacle. And to be afraid of an obstacle would go against everything that I am. I welcome them. I'm attacking this rehab. Back soon. If he's attacking his rehab, that means that injury is more severe than we know right now. He was meeting with doctors the other day. An NBA insider actually saw him with a sling on that shoulder. So that injury does not look good. If he does miss significant time, the question that comes to mind is, who else are the Knicks going to add to this roster? Who else could they add to this team that could have an impact? Well, according to reports, the Knicks could potentially sign Marcus Morris to finalize this team. According to Bagley, so if Shamet is out long-term, New York would likely look to sign another veteran player for that 14th spot. Before Shamet's injury, there was some internal support for adding Marcus Morris Sr. New York signed Morris Sr. to an Exhibit 10 deal prior to training camp. They had to waive Morris to execute the Towns trade. Morris then declined the training camp invite from the Knicks after they acquired Towns. Even after he declined the camp invite, some within the club viewed Marcus Morris Sr. as a strong depth piece and a potential in-season addition. Adding more fuel to this report, as we can see here, Marcus Morris's brother, Keef Morris, liked the post where it was indicating that the Knicks could add him back to the team. I'm not saying it's indicating anything significant, but it does seem to indicate at the very least that his brother approves of him going back to the Knicks. Shamet is signed to an Exhibit 9 contract, which is a non-guaranteed deal. So if his injury is significant, the Knicks could waive him and incur a $15,000 cap hit. The club could then have room under the second apron to add another player on a veteran minimum and convert a two-way player to a standard contract. From a purely financial perspective, if you add Marcus Morris Sr. to this team, it would actually make sense because you could likely add him for the vet minimum. If you do that, then you could add him to this roster. He would be the 13th player. You convert Ariel Hukporti, who's on a two-way deal, to a standard NBA contract, and there you go. You get your 14 players on standard NBA deals, and you're ready for the regular season. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying that's what the Knicks want to do, but if they do that, it's a way to complete the roster, finalize it before opening night, and that way they have players on this team that they believe in and they know will have an impact. You may not like Marcus Morris. Some people might think he's a little bit old to be playing in this league right now. But one thing we can say about him, he's physical, he's tough, and he's a veteran. He will have a presence in that locker room. He may not be able to shoot the same way that Shamet can, but he can play inside very well, and he's physical. And if the Knicks need him, he can play a backup five for them as well, too. I'm not saying the Knicks are always going to go there, but if the Knicks want to go small, and it was rumored from Tom Thibodeau that at some points during the season, he might go small. If that happens, you're going to need players that can play the five. And the Knicks internally had a lot of support for playing Marcus Morris at the 5 spot. So if that was the case before, you got to figure after the Landry Shamet injury, it's still the case now. The only thing is, will the Knicks add Marcus Morris or look for somebody else? In my opinion, I don't think Marcus Morris fits this team anymore because we don't need a power forward or a 5 like him. We need somebody else who can shoot the ball because we just lost Landry Shamet and we don't have Dante DiVincenzo off the bench anymore. So in my opinion, the player to add to this team as a vet is TJ Warren, because you can convert him to a standard NBA contract as well too, and he can be on a vet minimum on this team. He'd be your 13th player, and then you can do the same thing. Convert Ariel Hukporti. He's on a two-way deal to a standard NBA contract, and you get your 14 players. And TJ can shoot the ball extremely well. And the thing about him is, what robbed him the most is injuries. If he's healthy and given some time to shine, he can be an absolute force off the bench for New York. And thankfully, according to Ian Begley, New York is also looking in this direction as well too. Shout out to Begley for giving us the following information. If Shamet is out for an extended period of time, the Knicks could also choose to keep veteran TJ Warren if they can sign him and stay under the second apron. Chuma Okeke would be an option as well. None of these players would be a perfect replacement for Shamet's shooting though. That's one factor that makes Shamet's injury so costly for New York. He was going to fill a distinct need and play a significant role off the bench for New York this season. The Knicks could still hold on to Shamet if they find out that his injury is not that severe. Maybe he's only going to miss a few games. I can still see the Knicks going through with their plan. They're going to add Shamet to this team, and they're going to wait till he's ready and available to contribute off the bench. Because as Ian Begley stated, they had plans for Shamet this year. They wanted him to be a significant piece off of the bench. And because of that, if he's only going to miss a few games, they are still going to invest and commit to him. But given his update on social media, the fact that he's attacking the rehab, it sounds more significant than we know right now. And until we have more information, we really don't know what the Knicks are going to do. But if Shamet's going to miss significant time, in my opinion, there's only one move to make, and that's TJ Warren. No offense or anything to Marcus Morris, but I don't want him on this team any longer. Chuma Okeke, he's good, he's young, but TJ Warren, if he's on and he's healthy, off the bench, he is going to contribute and have an impact. He will not give you the same level of scoring or shooting that Landry Shamet would give you. But still, it's very close. And the shooting is also very close. He's a little bit taller than Shamet as well, too. He checks a lot of boxes in terms of what you want off the bench. And I'm not saying he's going to get significant time, but when he's in the game, he is going to contribute because he looks for his shot, he's aggressive, and he can play defense. And under Tom Thibodeau, I think he would play even better defense. All he needs is an opportunity. He has been injured for the last few seasons. Now he looks more healthy than ever before. If that keeps up and he's able to make this team, I think he's going to have a significant impact off the bench because he's not going to be able to do what Landry Shamet can do. Nobody on this Knicks roster, nobody they have signed right now is going to be able to do what Shamet can do. Not at his size, not the way he can shoot the ball. However, TJ Warren is a very close second. He can shoot the ball extremely well. He can play inside, and you never know. At some point in time, he could go off, give you 20, 25 points at any given night. He has that ability. He is capable of that. And if you have a player like that on your team, and he's capable of going off, why not have him on your team? What harm could it do you? And it's only going to cost you the vet minimum, nothing else. If Landry Shamet is set to miss significant time, then the Knicks have no other choice. They need to sign TJ Warren to a standard NBA contract. I don't want to see it be Marcus Morris because, like I said before, at this point in time, given what we've seen in the preseason and the depth we have on this team, I don't think that Marcus Morris fits this team any longer. With Chuma Okeke, he's a nice piece. He's a young piece as well, too. But right now, we need players that are going to make an impact. Warren is proven. He was proven in the bubble. He was proven in the playoffs. We need a player like that off the bench if we're not going to have Landry Shamet. But if the Knicks don't want to sign Warren, but they want to go a different direction, another way they can handle the situation is by signing not one, but both of their rookies on two-way deals to standard NBA contracts. We're talking about Kevin McCullough Jr. and Ariel Hukporti. Now, I made a video yesterday already about Kevin McCullough Jr. potentially joining this team. Now, a lot of people don't understand why the Knicks may want to go in that direction. It's two reasons. Number one, financially, it makes sense. But number two, Kevin McCullough Jr., if you watch this kid or know anything about him, when healthy, he's basically like Josh Hart off the bench. If you have Josh Hart in the starting unit, wouldn't you want to have another Josh Hart coming off the bench? If the answer to that is yes, then having McCullough on this team checks that box for you. He would be a great piece to develop, and I think he's more NBA ready than a lot of people are giving him credit for. Look how long he was playing in college for. This kid is ready to contribute to a team right now. He is defensive minded. He is 6'6". Remember, he's a guard. Can you imagine what a defensive-minded guard under head coach Tom Thibodeau can become in maybe a year or two? I would love to see that. So either way the Knicks go here, whether they want to convert both rookies on their two-way contracts to standard NBA deals, I have no problem with them doing that, or signing TJ Warren to a standard NBA contract. Because either way, I think the Knicks get better and they benefit. But I don't think the Knicks are going to make a move until we find out the severity of Landry Shamet's injury. Until we know more information on that, I think the Knicks are going to stand still, consider their options, and wait to see what they're going to do. But if we know that Shamet's going to miss significant time, then we already know the names on the table. Marcus Morris Sr., Chuma Okeke, and TJ Warren. You could also pencil in Kevin McCullough Jr. as a possible player the Knicks could add to this team. Either way, it looks like the Knicks have a plan in place, and they're going to execute it as soon as they get more information about Shamet. But what about you guys? What do you think about the following reports indicating that there could be internal support for adding Marcus Morris Sr. back to this team? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.